Hi, my name is Jack Taggart with the Gorge Wood Company. We're just going to talk about our two different hardwood lumber grades for here in the store. And we're going to go over a few different examples so that when you come in to buy lumber or you're planning your next project and you plan to use stuff that you buy from us, you know what it means to buy premium lumber or standard grade lumber. So let's look at that. So premium boards are for those that need clear lumber, very minimal defects or knots of any type. A clear size, a clear cutting size of 3 inches by 7 feet or 4 inches by 5 feet is required in a premium grade board. You also need at least 90% of clear lumber, so less than 10% of that board can contain defects. Standard grade, on the other hand, has a minimum cutting size of 3 inches by 3 feet or 4 inches by 2 feet. Basically that means at least that size of lumber needs to be clear grained, no knots, no defects, in order for it to be considered a standard grade board. So let's look at a premium board real quick. Remember, a premium grade board needs at least 3 inches wide by 7 feet of clear lumber, or it needs 4 inches wide by 5 feet of clear lumber. So this particular board is 8 inches wide and it has 7 feet of length. So do we have 3 inches by 7 feet of clear lumber? We do. We have a strip that goes down this side that's approximately 5 inches wide and 7 feet long. Or do we have 4 inches by 5 feet? And the answer is yes, we do. So this board is 8 inches wide and 7 feet long. 8 times 7 is 56. If we're allowed 10% of defect, that means no more than 5.6 square inches of defect can be in this board. So as you can see right here, there's a knot. That knot is approximately 1 square inch. And then right here on the edge at the other end, there's a knot that is also about 1 square inch. So we're looking at 2 square inches of defect. So this board is approximately 95% clear. So it meets the clear cutting size, and it also does not have more defects than is acceptable. So this is a premium grade board. Alright, so again, standard grade boards need to have at least 3 inches by 3 feet or 4 inches by 2 feet of clear lumber, and they need to have at least 2/3 of that board needs to be free of defects. The only other rule for standard grade boards is no more than 10% of that board can have unsound wood. So this particular board is 9 inches wide and it is 8 feet long, right? So there's 72 square inches in this board. We're allowed 7.2 square inches for premium, right, of defect, or we're allowed about 24 square inches for a standard grade board. So we have a defect right here that's approximately 2 inches by 2 inches. So there's 4 inches of defect right here. And then we have another defect right here that's approximately 3 inches by 2 inches. So there's 6 square inches of defect there. So this particular board does meet the clear cutting size for a standard grade board. However, it has more defects than a premium grade board would allow, but less than the maximum for a standard grade board. So again, there's 72 square inches of lumber in here, and we have about 10 to 11 square inches of defect, which would make it about 15%. That makes this a standard grade board. There is no unsound wood in it. So the reason we have the 10% rule for unsound lumber is sometimes it can look very neat, and many times if there's just one particular knot that goes all the way through or something, you can cut that out and still use that board for your intended project. This board, for example, is a white oak board that has a lot of interesting grain and texture to it. But you would need to fill or stabilize and clean this hole. You need to do the same thing for down here. You would need to do the same for where there's decay over here. So this board, although it looks exceptionally neat and would have a use for sure, and would be great to the right customer, for most people that are expecting a standard grade board for the use of something like making face frames for a cabinet, or even potentially making some of their own flooring, they would need to cut out so much of this lumber that it's not really fair to charge you for this material that is clearly bad. Thanks for watching. You can go over to gorgewood.com under hardwood lumber. All of those specifications and details for premium grade versus standard grade are listed there, and we have an example board to show you on both. We're not saying this is the way to do it, we're just saying this is the way we do it here, just so that we have some common language when you're buying and we're selling, so that everybody gets the right product to start their woodworking project off right. So again, thanks for watching, and visit us at gorgewood.com or come out and see us in the store and get some lumber for your next project. Thanks.